dig in them and make couches and chairs, you know, make a thing for your paper dolls. And do you know that no matter what catalog you cut out of, you cannot find a man without a price tag on his pant leg? There is no way. I wonder if they've thought about that since then. I haven't been noticing. But instead of changing clothes, you know, to have one paper doll and make, why you just had lots of women that were all the same person.
But with different clothes on.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they were going to a dance, you got a different doll that had a dance dress on.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. And took the man with his price tag on his leg. There was no other choice. But Ruth and I, as I say, we slept together, and obviously we lived together, but I'm not aware of her particularly.
What are your memories of your mother in those early days?
You know, it's awful to say, but she just was always there, you know. Though I do remember one spring, Betty Dalton and I carefully picked each bud off of all 4 of Mother's peony bushes, because they had ants on them, and of course you can't have that.
Well, when specifically were you born?
October 3rd in 1921.
21.
Okay.
And
And I was baptized the same time as Huff Welch. Of course, you had to wait till the summer because it was in the Cowley Canal. So I was that much older than Huff. But Grandpa Welch baptized us, and then we all went swimming. There was half a dozen of us, and then we all went swimming afterwards, of course. I remember having a 2.5-minute talk there in Cowley. I don't remember what the subject was. Mother evidently had someone sick at home because she didn't go that day, and I wouldn't give it. I don't know why, but I was on an aisle seat, and Johnny Stevens came down, got down on his knees beside me, and told me that if I would give the talk, he would pray for me. And there was no way that I needed a prayer, so I did not give the talk. And Mother never jumped me about that. I guess she just understood. And I don't think it was stage fright. I think it was just cussedness. I don't know.
how old would you have been then?
Well, under 10, because see, I was 10 when we moved up here. So I'm not really sure. I can remember stealing a sacrament cup. They were glass ones then, and I kept it in my mouth. And no one knew that I had it, of course. I don't even know what I did with it.
What do you remember about the birth of Becky, say?
And there again, see, Ruth remembers when I was born. I never remember Mother being pregnant. As small as she was, she never got very big, because she said that Grandma Taggart even challenged her, that she wasn't as far along as you know. But I'm just not aware of it. Of course, now when she went for Ray and Charlie, she went to Billings.
Yeah.
And she was up there several days in labor. She never had an easy time of it. And one of the nuns came in and said, "Mrs. Taggart, we're wearing out our prayer bones over you. Won't you hurry up and have this baby?" First time I ever saw a nun, I went up to have my tonsils out in Billings. And I woke up in the morning with this woman in this outfit. Not only was it somebody that looked really spooky, but she catheterized me. Whew! I'll never forget that. That's traumatic. For one thing, that's a pretty personal thing to have somebody else be doing to you.
Well, yeah, but after just having your tonsils...
Well, it was before the surgery, see. Yeah. Why they did that, of course, I don't know.
I've never heard of that before for something like tonsils.
I don't know just what the deal was.
Guess they didn't want you to wet their sheets.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I was little enough that this might have been part of the, could have been part of the... No, I wasn't, because I was in junior high. I was always one of the littlest ones in the class. I could only trade dresses with Zola Dalton. Mother had my tonsils out. I got this big, and I've been this big ever since. And the boys came right to here. But she said that the doctor wanted to take my tonsils out as a baby. And old wives' tales, boy, you just didn't do that to a little one. So probably I had troubles, you know. I'm not aware of. Bee stings was the only thing I remember about being sick. Oh, they used to poison me.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
And you had more than one?
Oh, yeah, well, we robbed the bird's nests in those old sod roofs. Had lots of bird's nests in them. And you stick your hand up in them, and if you stick it up in a hornet's nest, you're in trouble. And I couldn't even bend my arm, you know, it was so big. But, and I've had a bee sting, why you soak your foot in water for days and days and days trying to bring the swelling down. I can remember going to a birthday party. No, that's after I stepped on a rake and got blood poisoning. Because I had to take the bucket of hot water with me to the birthday party.
And soak your foot during the party.
That time that I had that accident that cut my head open, that Lloyd claimed it was an accident, and I say he did it on purpose.
Describe in detail.
Well, I was in the swing, and he wanted me to help him feed the pigs. Yes, see, we had pigs, I'd forgotten. And I wasn't about to do it. I wanted to swing, and he gave me a shove. And I went back and hit a post with a nail that stuck out and tore my head open. And Mother took me to Level to Dr. Croft. And he shaved my head and put this cap of gauze, one went underneath here. Mother made me organdy caps that then you fit them over, and then they didn't know it was bandages, in theory. But I can remember him taking that cutting this part that went under here and taking that cap off and putting it back on twice. Now
Without making a new one.
That's what I mean. Think of what nasty medical practice that is. Oh.
Well, maybe he didn't have much gauze.
Well, an old sheet would have done it, you know? Oh, I've thought about that, wondered how out in the world we all lived with the medicine that there was then.
How do you remember your relationship with Lloyd Mack in Cali?
Daggers drawn.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That year that Lloyd was on crutches, he had water on the knee and had some surgery in Billings, and then he was in a body cast, waist down, and found out that if he could throw those crutches and hit me right in the small of the back, that I sure as heck paid attention after that. And from a block away, he could get that kind of attention because he was very accurate with those crutches.
The Tar City block, huh?
Well,
not only accurate, but very strong.
yeah, I don't think he ever could throw it that far, but I paid attention from that far, yes. But you know, we had a sand pile in Cali. I've thought about that. There was evidently an old granary by the back of the house that was torn down, but the cement foundation was left because the walls were, maybe a foot high, a cement floor and walls, and I suppose, 10 feet square, I don't know, that Dad filled with sand. And when you built canals and rivers and such through your mountains and your roads in the sand pile, why the water would stay in the rivers because there was cement underneath, see? It wouldn't soak away until the sun dried it, you know. But you could build fantastic things because you could wet that, and it was old black river sand. You could wet it. So it's just like being on the beach.
Sure.
Yeah. It's gone now. I asked Lynette about it one time, and they covered it up or tore it out or whatever they did. It's not there. But it's a great sand pile. And Mother's fear of cats We never had that problem. Because now, see, a sand pile at my house was also a sandbox for the cat, so you soon gave it up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Bill made a frame of chicken wire that went over the top of the sandbox, but of course the kids would forget to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you remember, we never had cats. I don't know where Mother got so frightened, but we never did.
The one time that there was a cat in the house, I guess, was when Fumi was
Yeah,
during the war.
yeah, and she had to let it out on the roof. It was never downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you remember about the move to Cody?
That's a bitter memory. You know that we moved on the 24th of July and missed the parade? Actually, the physical move, you know, rearranging the furniture and all of that, I wasn't aware of it. I don't know who helped on that. But I can remember in going to Aunt Jessie's, the town was so big and so strange that I could only walk a particular route to get there, or I'd get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sarah and I used to sit in those apple trees at Mother's. She had one favorite tree and I had one. And you could read and eat apples all day. I sent Sarah a book that we read under those apple trees. They've reprinted it recently, Secret Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so glad I did, because I had 2 letters from you at Christmas time enjoying the book again together, you know. And now that she's gone, why, that's kind of nice that we had that. Yeah. Or did you know she had died?
Yes.
No.
I knew, but I heard it from somebody not in the family. Don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not aware of moving as such. But I remember going back to Cowley for Decoration Day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the Cowley Cemetery was still old sagebrush and cactus. And when you went down there, you took shovels and rakes and hoes, but you took a sack lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And so while the adults worked, why, then we had picnics.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So it was a big occasion. It was nice. Uh-huh.
What do you remember about the family's activity in the church in the county days?
Well, of course, I remember we had to go over to the high school building for our Sunday school classes. And I remember the church in Kemmer. I don't remember a whole lot about Kemmer, that year we spent down there. But I thought it was a very tacky arrangement, because in that church they pulled curtains around for classrooms. Now that's tacky, isn't it? What Cleone was telling me, when we moved to Cowley, or to Kemmer, Cleone went with Mother, 16 years old. She was Mother's help. Uncle Frank Hinckley came to visit Mother with his family while they were in Kemmer, and it resulted in lots of sheets to be washed, lots of laundry. Cleone called up went down to the Maytag company and asked for a demonstration of their washing machine. See, they were using scrub boards. They didn't move the washing machine. They were so anxious for a sale. Now, this was a 16-year-old, you know, her pretending, well, I have this big household and all this laundry. And they came and did every bit of that laundry for her. Took the washing machine back to the store. Mother stayed in the bedroom the whole time. She was so embarrassed. But she was sure glad to get the laundry done. Now, can you imagine anybody doing that for a 16-year-old?